Hello everyone, I trust you're doing well. Before we start, I'd just like to apologise if my voice sounds weird. I had a cold and a cough for 2 weeks and I'm still trying to get over it, and I just wanted to get this video done, so if I don't sound great, that's why. Hopefully I'll be better by the time I do my next recording. Thanks for understanding. If Crash Bandicoot 2 isn't to your liking, maybe the third platformer Naughty Dog made will, Crash Bandicoot 3. Warped. Considering how Crash 2 was a huge leap in quality for me personally, I felt that both it and its Insane remake were equally good, but when it comes to Crash 3, I noticed fans seem more divided on this one. Some consider this to be the best of the trilogy, while others prefer Crash 2 instead. It all comes down to the same reasons, funnily enough. What are those reasons, and which side do I join? Well, let's take a look. Once again, I need to disclose, I'm playing this on the DuckStation emulator, which lets me improve the visuals and allows for save states. I'm happy to say that the physics and gameplay are pretty much the same as Crash 2. The jumping is still physics based, so if you prefer the Insane Trilogy's fixed jumps, you'll need to get used to it. I have by now, so it's not a big deal. The good news is that your spin, slide, slide jump, slide spin, super jump, body slam, and crawl are all carried over. The better news is that the bounce crates are at their best. No inconsistencies, no different amounts depending whether or not you hold your jump. All of them break after 5 bounces, regardless of bounce height. Kind of embarrassing that it took Naughty Dog 3 games to get this right, but better late than never. As for what's the same, you still break all the crates to get a gem, you still need to grab a crystal along the way, you still get Aku Aku's help if you break 3 crates without losing him, you still get lives by collecting 100 Wumpa Fruit or a life token, and you can still access bonus rounds and try as many times as you like without losing a life. The death routes are back too, but there's only 3 of them this time, and it gets better than that. 2 of them, the ones in High Time and Tomb Raider, house the purple and blue gems respectively, and they're found early on the level. The third death route, which is in Flaming Passion, lets you get the green gem, the crystal, and the crate gem in one go. There is also a brand new crate, the slot crate. These spin and change what you get for opening them, but you need to be quick, otherwise they'll turn to steel and you'll have ruined your all crate run. Seems like a no-brainer, right? If this game is the same as Crash 2 but with these improvements, this is the best Crash game. Well, this is where I need to apologise to you, because unlike the last 2 games, where I had a good idea of how to structure this video, this one's going to be more disjointed, and that's because there are other gameplay styles in this game. But before I explain them, we need to go over the hub first. In this game, you have only one warp room, Entropy's Time Twister. You have 5 platforms, each with 5 levels, and a boss fight, just like the last game. Stand on one of the buttons and hop through the portal. It will even show you which gems are available, rather than carve them on the wall so they blend in too well. Going over to this monitor where Coco is will save your game. Replaying the boss fights are easier too, because now you can just stand on a button. Throughout the 5 levels in each act, the gameplay style is going to change. Let's take Act 1 for example. Level 1, Toad Village, is your standard introduction level. Level 2, Under Pressure, is a scuba diving level. You mash the jump button to swim faster, you can spin in any direction, and you can grab a jet sub to fire missiles, which you need to break open Coral. Level 3, Orient Express, has you play as Coco for the first time, and she rides a tiger cub named Pura. You steer him left and right, jump, and you can hold the slide button to charge through barrels. Level 4, Boneyard, is another Crash level, but now you have a Triceratops chasing you, there's grass that slows you down, and you need the red gem for the secret route, so you'll have to come back later. Level 5, Making Waves, has you play as Coco again on a jet ski. Race across the ocean and follow the arrow to the end. Right away, you can probably see what the divisive factor is for a lot of Crash fans. Just from the first act alone, you're not always going to be platforming. Some people like this because it adds variety and breaks up the monotony, while others dislike it because, if I'm being honest, not all these gameplay styles are that good. I mean, I do like some of them, but let's just go over the game structure and you'll see why this is so divisive. The game structure goes like this. The main game has 25 levels, just like Crash 2. Out of those 25 levels, 14 of them are platforming levels. The rest consist of 2 scuba diving levels, Under Pressure and Deep Trouble, 2 Tiger levels, Orient Express and Midnight Run, 2 jet ski levels, Making Waves and Tell No Tales, 3 motorbike levels, Hog Ride, Road Crash and Orange Asphalt, and 2 levels where you fly around in a plane, Bye Bye Blimps and Mad Bombers. Although for these ones, just remember, the controls are inverted and there's no option to change that, you've got to stick with it. So because you're doing platforming most of the time, these other gameplay styles can feel like mini-games that fluctuate in quality. I'm just going to go over each one now and you'll see what I mean. Starting with the first type, the underwater levels. I hated these. Not because Crash is hard to control, if anything, he controls just fine, especially since your spin attack can get you moving before you finish turning. With how cramped these levels feel, going slow is actually a pretty good thing. But once you get the jet sub, this is what makes it so frustrating. Pressing the spin button will fire torpedoes, and you better spam these, not just to break open coral, but attack enemies. Because this thing moves way too fast. Don't believe me? Look here. I'm not touching the controller, this is me when I keep it still. It always moves and it builds up speed. The only way I was able to control it was just to keep turning around. And if it breaks, well, you've lost it, you just have to continue on knowing that you can't break the coral open now. As for the second one, the Tiger levels, I like them. They're short, they have a good sense of speed if you can dodge everything while charging, and it got me to pay attention. So, they're good. The jet ski levels, I'll be honest, they're a bit chaotic, mostly because Coco's jet ski just takes off like a rocket, and you have no reverse gear. To turn around, you have to slowly turn on the spot, and the camera won't rotate, so you have to move forward to make it move. This makes trying to break the crates and avoid obstacles harder than it should be, but on their own, they're fine. The road races on the motorbike are fine when you just take your time to break the crates, but to get the crystal, you have to come in first place. On Hog Wild, this is fine. But Road Crash? I hated this level. The placement of the pits, the cars push you back if you even just graze them, you have to hold the spin button to brake or you just won't make some of these turns. And some of the crates are put in, quite frankly, stupid places. Easily my least favourite level. Ironically, I thought the third one, Orange Asphalt, was easier. It only took me 2 tries. Finally, the plane levels. You hold down the slide button to shoot, press the spin button to do a roll so you can dodge gunfire, and I quite like these. They're short, they're easy, they can catch you off if you're reckless, enemies are easy to take down if you aim at them, and it's probably my bias because I like games where I can fly, so it's a winner for me. So yeah, that's only 2 gameplay styles I like, 2 I think are fine, and 1 I just don't like at all. While the platforming is still as good as Crash 2, and it is the majority of levels like I said, these different gameplay styles make it clear why so many Crash fans are split down the middle with this one. But if there's one thing that the fans can agree on, it's that Crash 3 Warped has the best boss fights of the Naughty Dog trilogy. Let's start with Tiny Tiger. The first thing he does is go straight at you, so you need to get out of the way. Right away, that's better than both Papu Papu and Ripperoo. I mean, yeah, you can just spin these lines away, but the fact that he actively goes after you and doesn't have a pattern already makes him a huge improvement. The second boss introduces a fan favourite, Dingo Dial. Yeah, as you can see here, I was trying to do this exploit where you use the super jump to go over his crystal barrier, but it didn't really work all the time. What you're actually supposed to do is avoid his flamethrower blasts, and when he breaks enough crystals, you can jump on him and then get clear of the blast radius. Honestly, even without the super jump trick, it's a decent boss fight. And the fact that you can't always abuse the super jump cheat makes it pretty competent, so yeah, I like this one. Boss number 3, Entropy. Don't you just love these names? On paper, this boss fight is simple, just avoid his attacks and then attack him before he recovers. But I was being a bit impatient when I recorded this, and I died more often than I should have. These homing shots in particular were annoying, so the fact that I actually had to put effort in, and the fact that you can easily get caught off guard, means that technically this boss isn't easy, but it's not too hard, so I'd say it's pretty good. Boss number 4 is Engine, and we have another gameplay style. Unlike the plane levels where you have free-flying stages, this is an on-rail shooter. You have to use Coco's spaceship to attack Engine's weapons while they're active, and in the second phase, Pura turns up in his own spaceship, and the pair of you combine for more firepower. A decent on-rail shooter if you ask me. And funny thing, this makes it 3 out of 3 because the 4th boss is once again my favourite. Guess 4's my lucky number. A good challenge overall. Now for Dr. Cortex. If you watched my first 2 videos, you'll know that I ended up beating him on my first try in both cases. Yet here, he actually killed me a few times. Even Cortex is better now. Well, sort of. You're fighting him and Uka Uka. He's Aku Aku's evil brother. While you're dodging 3 of Cortex's laser shots, the brothers will fight each other. Phase 1 will see them having a beam struggle. Phase 2 has them create a twister from fighting so fast, though this has an exploitable pattern so you can avoid it. And Phase 3 will have Uka Uka trying to go for Crash, only for Aku Aku to block him, and then the impact will cause a little explosion. After you dodge 3 of Cortex's laser blasts, he'll throw down 5 landmines. During this, his force field will drop, and if you don't hit him before all 5 explode, the force field goes back up. If you're able to knock him off his hoverboard, you just spin him into the vent, and you have to do this 3 times to win. So yeah, much to my surprise, all 5 boss fights in this game are pretty good, and ended up being some of my favourite parts of the game. Especially since after you beat them, you get some new moves. In order, you get the Super Body Slam from Tiny Tiger, which just makes your body slam more reliable, with a wider attack range. Dingo Dial will give you a double jump. This does reset your momentum, but, you know, it's always useful to have. Beating Entropy gets you the Death Tornado Spin. Not only does this improve your spin attack duration, but you can glide for a bit. Blasting Engine away will get you the Fruit Bazooka. Just hold the left trigger, aim, and fire with the slide button. You can even grab Wumpa Fruit with this, which is kind of strange because you have unlimited ammunition, but I'm not going to complain. Though I should let you know now if you play this game, much like the flying, your aiming is inverted and you can't change it. And after you beat Cortex and Uka Uka, you get the Speed Shoes. Just hold down the right trigger and Crash will sprint. It also improves your jumping distance. The Fruit Bazooka was a bit situational, but hey, it kept me safe when trying to break nitro crates. The Super Body Slam, honestly, this should have just been available from the get-go. But combining the double jump, Death Tornado Spin and Speed Shoes are particularly useful when you use them together for the game's newest edition. In this game, not only do you have to get the crystal and gems again, but there's something else you need to get, and that is the Time Trial relics. After you beat a level and go back into it, a stopwatch will appear. When you touch this, Wumpa Fruit will fly away, bounce crates are gone, bonus rounds you can't enter, and the clock will start. Just get to the end of the level as fast as you can, or shoot down all the targets in the plane levels. As you race to the end, some of the crates will turn yellow with a 1, 2 or 3 on them, and breaking these will pause the timer. Dying during these will just send you back to the beginning of the level because there are no checkpoint crates. Luckily though, Aku Aku's crates are still available, and you're going to need him if you're going to get a good time here. There are 3 ranks: Sapphire, Gold and Platinum. The good news is, the Gold and Platinum relics are optional. They're just bragging rights. You do get an extra gem from Coco if you get all the Platinum ones, but this isn't required for the true ending, don't worry about it. The bad news is, you need to get the Sapphire relic on every single level. Why? Well, because it ties into this game's completion aspect, including the bonus warp room. The bonus warp room in this game, which shows off Cortex's henchmen being created, nice little detail there, house the last 5 levels which don't have any crystals, but they do have the rest of the gems. But as you can see, you need all 25 Sapphire relics at the least just to open these levels up. So if you play this game for the first time and you're wondering, how do I get the yellow gem and hang him high, or where are the rest of the crates in Future Frenzy, this is where. But on some of these levels, even just trying to get the Sapphire relic is a challenge. Mostly in the vehicle levels, I will admit. I did get some gold and a few platinum relics by accident, but once I saw the requirements were just the Sapphire ones, I calmed down a bit and just settled for that. But it still wasn't easy. If you want my recommendation, don't do the levels in order, see which levels have the coloured gems, except the yellow gem obviously, and go for them first if you can grab them. Then you can come back and do the coloured gem routes. Another warning, this game's equivalent to Cold Hard Crash is Future Frenzy. I mean, yeah, it's better because there's no ice physics, but the enemy placement, the fact that you need to get to the bonus warp room just to grab everything, that's gonna make up for it, believe me. Like I said earlier, I'm sorry if this video seems all over the place compared to the last 2, but with all these additions, can you really blame me? As the game went on, it just felt like too much. I tried to finish this game as soon as I could so I can make this video, but these time relics just ended up making it feel like a chore, which is never a good sign for a game. It also didn't help that there were more things I just downright hated in this game compared to Crash 2. I hated the dinosaur levels, because of the lava, the grass and the chase sections, where the camera is too close to Crash. I hated Road Crash because of its awkward design. I hated Future Frenzy, as I just mentioned. I hated the scuba diving levels. I found some later levels frustrating just to get the Sapphire time relics with, especially when you see where some of the time crates are placed. And what I hated most? This game lies to you. Listen to this cutscene.
It's not over, Bandicoot. There are still the gems. We still have a chance to triumph.
Uka Uka says gems. So, instinctually, you think, okay, I just need to get all the gems for 100% completion. So imagine my shock when I went through the whole game again, got all the gems and 25 time relics just to get to the bonus levels, then did the final boss fight again and got the same ending. That's when I stopped and went, really? I need to get the time relics on the bonus levels too? Uka Uka clearly says gems. He doesn't mention anything about time relics. Why would you just lie to the player like that? Okay, I'm getting worked up, so let's go over something I liked. Well, actually there's a few things I like actually, particularly in terms of the presentation. This is perhaps the best presented Crash game so far. Having the warp room be the time twister makes it more digestible, and it makes going from one level to another much quicker and easier, since you can see what you're missing in each level, it shows you what time you need for each relic, and in between certain levels and fights, the bosses will trash talk you.
Well, haven't we gotten far for a pair of fuzzy marsupials? I am Dr. Nefarious Tropy, master of time and creator of the very time twister machine you see before you. Uka Uka and Dr. Cortex have sent me to end this little charade, so you won't be leaving my area with the crystals. I swear it.
And you get some assurance from Aku Aku on top of that.
Crash, Coco,
If you have already retrieved a level's crystal, then you will find a floating clock when you enter for the second time. This floating clock activates time trial mode. Grab it and the clock will start ticking. Race for the end to get the best time. But beware, some elements will change.
It just made the game feel a bit more personal. But yeah, I'll mention now, I'm not going to go in depth about these because I'm going to cover the story in one big video, so like the last two videos, I'm not ignoring the story, we're going to do that another time, because there's really not a lot here. Now for the hot take. This is my favourite soundtrack of the original Crash trilogy. While I stand by the opinion that the first game had a more atmospheric soundtrack, this game just had a lot more songs that I just ended up humming along to. Here are some of my favourites. And like the last game, levels have time progression, a nice little touch. Although I will say, because Crash and Coco have different models for the vehicle levels, they can look a bit, well, goofy. And that's it. Despite all my praises, I will be honest, I am a bit disappointed by this game. It was so close to being the best of the three. It had the best bounce crates, the new moves were a nice addition, it has the best boss fights, the best soundtrack in my opinion, the best presentation, everything just came together. But the fact that I didn't enjoy all the alternate gameplay styles, the fact that the game lies to you about just needing the gems, the fact that you need time trial relics just to complete the game, and some of the crate placement when doing the time relics, as well as the enemies, just made me want the game over and done with. Not exactly what I hoped I would feel about this game, especially since it started off so strong. Let's wrap it up with the big question. Do I think Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped is better or worse than Cortex Strikes Back? Unfortunately, it's close, but not quite. While this game did fix a lot of the small problems I had with Crash 2, Crash 2 overall just feels more focused. It knew what it was trying to be, and as a result, it was much easier for me to forgive its shortcomings. Whereas here, like I said, as the game went on, and the completion aspects just kept piling up, it just made the game feel like a chore the closer I got to finishing it. Which is why if I had to put them in order, the first game is last place, Warped is a strong second, and Cortex Strikes Back is the best one in my opinion. How about that? I guess I joined the majority after all. So, 3 decades later, has Crash Bandicoot aged well? The first game? Sadly not. There's too many issues in the way of that one. The second game? Absolutely. It's earned its place as a classic for a reason. The third game? Also yes, but the completion aspect will make or break it for you. You know, it's kind of weird all these years later. I've only ever watched videos of people playing these games, so finally getting to play them all myself? You know what? I'm actually really glad I did this, but we're not finished, are we? Because we still have the story to go over, right? Nope. There's one other game that Naughty Dog made before they left, and we're going to do that game next. Coming up is Crash Team Racing, and I'm looking particularly forward to that one. So, until that video comes around, all I have to say now is thank you for watching. Do you agree or disagree with me? Leave a comment, let's get a conversation going. If you don't want to miss the next video, make sure you subscribe, and as always, enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.